Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of JeremyCraft. There's a bunch of stuff that we're missing out on right now that is only available through villager trading, or at least easily available through villager trading. Things like enchanted books, tools, armor, emeralds through pumpkin trading for the farmers. A lot of this stuff is missing because we don't have any villagers on our island, and to be honest, this area is just way too dangerous to be bringing villagers here unless I just lit absolutely everything up and limited them to certain areas, which obviously I don't like doing. We're gonna have to find another solution. So one idea that I had was to go back to the village that we found back in episode 2 and turn it into a temporary safe haven for the villagers. So we're gonna put a wall around the village, make it look a little nice, and keep the villagers safe so that when in the future when we want to go there and trade, we won't have to worry about the villagers getting attacked by zombies or getting killed by any mobs. So we're gonna head over there really quick and we're gonna lay out some plans for how we're gonna do this, and I'll meet you over there. Alrighty, here we are back in paint.net. So I've just pillared up onto a little dirt tower here to get an overview of the city, and I'm gonna try and plan out where I think everything should go. So I'm noticing immediately there's a couple small issues that we're going to need to solve. So one of them is these cliffs here and here, which kind of cut through the city and will make it so that mobs coming off the top will be able to fall down into the walls. So we're either going to have to push those back or somehow incorporate them. The second major issue I'm seeing is the fact that so much of this is on the water. We're going to have to figure out some way of building a nice looking wall on the water, which is going to be a little bit tough. We could create some sort of more natural wall. I was picturing sort of a city wall, like a fortification, sort of in the style of these, like, you know, towers here. But I'm thinking now, what if we built some sort of like stake wall, like they had just, you know, grabbed some wood from the local area and just sort of like, you know, drop some posts into the ground. So it would be like little stakes all the way around the major sections of the city, and maybe even just incorporating the major parts like this. Leaving the outer sections as like little stations outside the city, you know? That might be a way that we can sort of simplify it, because then we can fill the inside here with a bit of dirt and stuff and sort of consolidate the land part away from the dock part, if that makes any sense. I think this is the best way forward, especially since this is not meant to be a formal, you know, major project the way the Old West Town is going to be, where that one I really want to make sure everything is solid. This is more just to protect the villagers in a way that doesn't look totally terrible. So I think this is what we're going to kind of go for. We're going to need a ton of logs, but thankfully I just realized that I have like 12 stacks of oak from when we cleared the town, so this actually might work out perfectly for us. So I'll get to work on laying some foundations, and when I come back you should have some idea of what's going on. Okay, and I am back. I've laid out where I think the majority of the walls are going to go. These posts here are not directly where the wall is going to go. The wall is going to kind of like, you know, snake its way randomly along like this, so that when you're standing at the front it looks like a bunch of logs have been placed into the ground. And these logs aren't exactly where the walls are going to go. Like these ones here are a little bit too close to the buildings. This is more of a general guide. I'm going to extend the land masses where I need to. And then these two, like, they're like guard towers almost, that overlook the shipbuilding area, which I just absolutely love. This sort of area almost like creates the lore for itself. But the wall will come across here with another gate here into town. These gates will all be closed, by the way. I keep saying gates as if things will be able to walk through, but obviously this is meant to block in the villagers and keep the mobs out. So they'll be like fenced off gates that look like they could be open, but in this case will be closed. And then it comes back through to where we started. So each one of these posts is going to be at least 3 or 4 blocks tall. And since they're all made of logs, that means this is going to be an absolutely ridiculous amount of logs. I don't even know if that entire island of trees is going to be enough wood for this section. So I'll get started on placing some logs and we'll kind of see how much we can do. Alrighty, so we are done placing all the logs. There was way more than I expected. The amount that we had from clearing the island was not even close to enough. I had to keep, decimating the oak population over there. But we got it all done. You can kind of see what I was going for now with this sort of like natural state sort of defenses here. But this is not done yet. There's another detail that will really make this seem a lot more finished. And I want to get that done right now so you guys can see the finished product before we move on to anything else. So I'm going to try and get that all done really quick, and you'll see in a second what I mean. And we are done, and just in time too, because I'm literally on my last 3 pieces of bread. The finished product's not quite as easy to see as I was hoping. The tops kind of blend into the sand in the background a little bit, but you get the idea. The detail I like to add is that it makes it look like a sharpened steak when you have these shaved bits and then a little post on top. So the gates into town are going to look something like this, and then the wall all the way around will have this sort of like shaved spike at the top. So I just finished that, and now it's just time to wrangle all the villagers, make sure none of them are outside of the village when I close it off for good, because when I'm done, I'm going to put the fences like this, so it looks like a closed gate. Like that, there's a villager outside town, so I'm going to try and ring the bell a couple times, get everyone inside, maybe even wait for nighttime so everyone goes to their beds, and remove all the beds that are not inside the village, and we should be pretty much done. Aside from the one major project left before we can really be done is we have to completely flatten the side of this mountain because it overhangs over the edge of the wall over there, so we're gonna have to close that all up, and hopefully that won't be too much work, and we'll be done pretty soon. Alright, and with the city done, I just flattened out the hillside there, so it's time to head home and get ready for the next stage, which is lighting up the inside and getting ready for some villager trading, setting up maybe a pumpkin farm, and transferring over all of the villager stations that I stole from them at the beginning of the season. So we'll be putting all that back in, getting some pumpkins and wheat and stuff, trading, and then we'll see how many emeralds we can get, and whether we can get this sort of set up the way we like it. Alright, we're back in the village. I just got myself my first cat, Jeremy. I'll show you guys on the screen whenever I get a new cat, which cat it is in real life. So that aside, it's time to finally start lighting up this village. So I've got to kind of just torch spam for a while. I'm going to look at the light levels, try and cover as much ground with as few torches as possible. And once that's done, then I will go and try and make it look pretty and, hide the light sources and all that. But to start off, I just want to make sure that every inch of this village is completely covered with light, so there's not any, stray zombies spawning in here and just absolutely decimating the population. So I'm going to get to that, and I'll be back when I am done. So having just finished the village project, I think the next step is to finally move our portal in the nether up into the ceiling so that we can make easier tunnels back and forth between the two locations, because I've already noticed that the boat track over there takes a little bit longer than I would like. So we're really quickly going to move the portal up into the roof, and maybe in the future we'll use that as the basis for our nether hub. already, and we have successfully linked up all the portals. The one at my base, and more importantly this one here, which will allow us to very quickly make it back and forth between the village and where we have set up our base. We've just got a very quick setup here. I modified the back of one of these houses so that the portal's a little bit hidden from far away, and from the side, you know, it just kind of looks like a one of the other buildings. I might add a little bit more to the sides to hide the portal a little better, but to be honest, I'm not like super fussed about that. I think it's totally fine as it is. So this will be hopefully where we do some more trading in the next episode. Get started on maybe finding some pumpkins and getting some emeralds. So in the future we can get some books and some tools from these guys. But I think that is gonna do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you have any suggestions of things we should build or things you want to see in this Let's Play series, then please feel free to comment. But that aside, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.